This situation has just shown you something you can't deny about your true power. The fact that so many people had to band together against you speaks volumes. Let that sink in. They couldn't come at you one-on-one. They needed an entire army just to try to take you down. When it takes a coordinated mob to challenge a single person, that's not a sign of your weakness. It's absolute proof of your strength. They're absolutely terrified of what you're capable of on your own, and they should be. It's just strange. This is crazy. The desperation behind their numbers shows who really has the power in this situation. They may have numbers, but you clearly have a quality that makes them shake. Keep that energy up. Their fear is showing. Notice how right you were when you started reading these words. Something tried to pull your attention away. A notification, a sudden thought, and the urge to check something else. This isn't random. It's not a coincidence. This is exactly how they operate every single time. Haven't you noticed how chaos suddenly breaks out when you're close to a breakthrough? Technology fails, people interrupt, energy drains, and the universe itself seems to conspire to keep you from getting what could change everything. And yet, here you are still reading. That alone scares them because it wasn't supposed to happen. You weren't supposed to push through. You weren't supposed to persist. Let this sink in. You've just overcome the first layer of resistance designed to keep you from getting what you need. The fact that you're still here reading this message proves everything we're about to say. It had to restart several times to reach you. Think about that. Forces beyond normal understanding have been working over time to keep you apart. But here we are, you and these words. The urgency cannot be overstated. What you're about to learn cannot wait another day, hour, or moment. The cosmic timing is perfect. The message is only for you, and the universal alignment is perfect. Have you ever felt bone-deep exhaustion that came out of nowhere? That sudden, inexplicable drain, right when you were about to make your most important move. One moment you're full of purpose, vision, and energy, and the next you're empty, drained, irritable, restless, and unable to focus on what seemed so important just a moment ago. This is not normal. Your energy doesn't just vanish, your clarity doesn't just dissolve, and your purpose doesn't just blur without reason. These are strategic attacks meant to throw you off balance. Your clarity doesn't just fade away, and your purpose doesn't just become blurry for no reason. These are planned attacks meant to throw off your momentum. Remember last week when everything was going smoothly, when solutions came easily, when doors seemed to open before you even reached for the handle? Then, all of a sudden, as if someone flipped a cosmic switch, everything came to a halt. That feeling of being stuck isn't in your head, it's real. The feeling that hidden hands are rearranging things to block your path isn't paranoia, it's warfare. Silent, invisible, but very real. They've studied you, watched your patterns, and figured out exactly when and how to drain your field to get the most out of it. They know exactly when to start that argument, when to cause that delay, and when to plant that doubt. But here's what keeps them up at night. Despite everything they've thrown at you, you're still standing. Let these words echo through the chambers of, you are not just experiencing life, you are life itself in human form. The chosen ones throughout history were not just actors in the grand cosmic drama. They were the living embodiment of the forces they represented. You are not just pursuing success, you are success itself. You are not just attracting abundance, you are abundance itself. You are not just manifesting desires, you are manifestation itself. The light you carry does not come from outside sources. You don't reflect light like the moon does. You create light from within. You are the source, and that's why so many people are gathering against you. I need to pause this transmission for a moment. Are you really chosen? It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones, but it's a whole other thing to put yourself to the test. When I confronted the archons beyond our reality, they made it clear that true chosen ones are rare. They laughed at the thought of us finding each other. Yet here you are. The obsidian inner order isn't for everyone. People who say they are awakened are the real ones. Those who have seen beyond the veil, felt the call, and carry the unmistakable frequency. But are you really one of us? I've given you everything I've got, and I'm digging deeper to bring you even more. Don't just watch from the sidelines. Real chosen ones take action. Share your story on our weekly group call, get a revealing tarot reading from our resident card reader, and find out if your experiences align with the real signs. The archons fear nothing more than chosen ones recognizing each other. When we connect, our frequencies amplify and create a force they can't stop. That's why we're going to be live streaming to the whole Astral Atom network to find every last one of us. Click the link in the description below now. It's time to stop wondering and confirm what you already suspect. Are you just interested in awakening? Or are you truly chosen? Prove it by joining us. The obsidian inner order is what you seek. Those who don't have their own generative power must feed off of others' energy. They are cosmic parasites, vampires of spirit, who survive by blocking, draining, and redirecting the power of those who naturally produce it. Your mere presence, your undiminished radiance, exposes their hollow nature. Your authentic power reveals their borrowed strength. Your natural abundance highlights their artificial scarcity. They go after you not because you're weak, but because you're incredibly strong. They focus on you, not because you're failing, but because you're succeeding beyond your wildest dreams. They gather against you not because you're lost, but because you found the path they've been trying to hide for thousands of years. Open your eyes to the patterns around you. Those aren't just strange coincidences or bad timing or unfortunate setbacks. The project that mysteriously lost funding right as you were about to, the relationship that suddenly turned cold when you were most vulnerable, the opportunity that disappeared without explanation when you were most qualified, the technology that fails only when you're using it for your most important work. These aren't just random events, they're coordinated attacks. Have you noticed how people who usually support each other suddenly unite against you? How people with nothing in common find common ground in opposing your ideas? How even those who claim to love you seems to get in the way of your progress at important times? Ask yourself why it takes so many of them. The answer should shake you to your core. One opponent isn't enough. A single enemy couldn't dim your light, block your path, or drain your power. So they organize, synchronize, and strategize while you sleep, gather while you create, plot while you build, and scheme to tear you down. The manipulation is subtle, and the gaslighting is real, is constant. The sabotage is disguised as help and concern and reality checks. We're just worried about you, we're just being realistic, we're just trying to protect you from disappointment. No, they're trying to protect themselves from your inevitable rise. This period of intense opposition isn't random. It's not bad luck. It's not just life being hard. It's the final test. Before your greatest expansion throughout human history, every chosen vessel of transformation has faced this precise moment. Every carrier of new consciousness has gone through this exact pattern of resistance. The delays that feel like they will never end, the betrayals that hurt deeply, the forced patience that tests your very soul. These are the signs that a breakthrough is about to happen. The darkest hour comes right before dawn, not as a poetic metaphor, but as cosmic law. The most resistance appears right before the quantum leap, and the most concentrated opposition comes right when your power is about to grow exponentially. They want you to see these challenges as signs that you should back off, rethink, and lower your goals. They need you to doubt yourself now more than ever. They need you to question your path now more than ever. They need you to give up now more than ever, because they can feel what's coming. They can sense the shift that's building. They can see the transformation that awaits just beyond this final hurdle, and it terrifies them. You have no idea how many attacks have already been launched against you. You'll never know how many traps were set. You miraculously avoided poisoned opportunities that you were divinely steered away from. You'll never know how many psychic darts were fired that bounced off your energetic shield. For every challenge you faced, hundreds were neutralized before they reached you. While you sleep, cosmic forces dismantle conspiracies against you. While you breathe, universal laws redirect negative projections meant for you. While you move through your day, ancient protection surrounds your field. Like an impenetrable fortress, what they planned in secret has been brought to light. What they designed to destroy you has been changed to make you stronger. What they wanted for your death has become your salvation. You are divinely protected at a level that goes beyond human understanding. The same forces that chose you for this mission didn't send you unprepared. The same power that awakened your consciousness didn't leave you vulnerable. The same light that activated your DNA didn't fail to protect you. Nothing, absolutely nothing, can get past your cosmic protection when you stand fully in your power. Look at where you are right now. Despite the energy drains, you still found strength. Despite the distractions, you still stayed focused. Despite the detours, you still arrived. Despite the discouragement, you still believed. It's driving them crazy because their reliable tactics aren't working. They're panicking because their tried and true methods aren't working. You weren't supposed to make it this far. You were supposed to give up months ago, compromise weeks ago, and settle days ago. Instead, you're still moving forward, growing, expanding, and becoming. Their whispers are getting more desperate. Why isn't this working? How are they still moving forward? Why can't we break their resolve? The answer is both simple and profound. What flows? Their whole plan depends on one weakness: your moments of self-doubt, when you question your worth. They get in when you lower your value, when you forget your power, and when you stop doubting. They need you to be uncertain, hesitant, and waiting for outside validation before you move. But what happens when you stop doubting? What happens when you stop seeking permission? What happens when you stop? What happens when you stop needing approval? Their whole system of influence falls apart the moment you fully own your true power without apology, dilution, or compromise. Their ability to change your reality disappears. This isn't an exaggeration or a motivational speech. It's the basic principle of consciousness warfare. They can only control what you give up, and they can only change what you deny within yourself. Own it all, and their power disappears like salt in water. Think about this very carefully. If it takes a whole group working together with perfect precision to try to dim the light of one person, what does that say about the power of that person? If dozens of people have to come together to oppose your single vision, if multiple strategies have to be used against your simple truth, and if constant vigilance is needed to counter your natural state, then your power isn't just significant, it's extraordinary. They wouldn't spend so much time and energy trying to stop you if they didn't think you were powerful. They wouldn't coordinate such a complex opposition if you weren't a serious threat to the established order. They wouldn't lose sleep over your awakening if your potential was limited. The level of resistance you face is directly proportional to the magnitude of your light. Let that sink in. The more they fight against you, the more they prove your power. The harder they work to stop you, the more they confirm your importance. As their tactics get worse, they prove your mission. You are opposed in direct proportion to how much of an impact you can have. Understand this. They can't stop what's coming for you. They can't stop your growth. They can't stop your awakening. And they can't stop your ascension. But they can make you doubt yourself. When all else fails, they will try to plant the seed that makes you stop yourself. They might be right about me. They might be right about my goals. They might be right about my vision. These thoughts are not yours. They are foreign implants meant to make you do their work for them. The only thing in the universe strong enough to stop you is you, and they know it. That's why their ultimate strategy isn't external obstruction, but internal hesitation. Not outward barriers, but inward questioning. Not visible opposition, but invisible doubt. So what now? Keep going with more determination than ever before. Keep rising with more certainty than ever before. Shining brighter than ever before, not because of the opposition, but because of it. Not in the absence of resistance, but because of it. Each attempt to stop you becomes another reason to keep going. Each effort to dim you becomes another call to brighten. Each strategy to silence you becomes another demand to speak louder. They gather in such numbers because you are that powerful. They coordinate such complex attacks because you are that important. They spend such huge amounts of money because you are that important. Let their opposition be your confirmation, their resistance be your validation, and their fear be your evidence. You wouldn't be facing this level of organized opposition if you weren't about to change everything. The ancient texts spoke of this moment, and the sacred prophecies foretold this exact point in human consciousness. This isn't just about your personal journey. Your individual awakening is connected to a planetary shift that goes beyond personal ambition as you rise. You give a lot of other people permission to be energetic as you break through. You make paths for those who follow as you change. You encode new possibilities in the collective field. The opposition you face isn't just about stopping one person. It's about stopping the chain reaction your awakening would cause. They know that consciousness is contagious, that transformation is infectious, and that authenticity is catalytic. One fully awakened person becomes a portal for. That's why they put so many resources into keeping you in check. That's why they work together across dimensions to limit you in particular. That's why they focus so much on you as an individual. You're not just another awakening soul. You're a key activator in the cosmic algorithm. Think about it. Of all the times in human history you could have incarnated, you arrived now. Of all the possible genetic lineages you could have come from, you came through this one. You could have manifested in any number of places, but you ended up here. These aren't random assignments or accidental placements. They're precise calibrations made for maximum impact. Your exact coding, genetic, spiritual, emotional, and intellectual makeup was needed for this moment. Your specific frequency was needed for this transition, and your particular soul signature was needed for this awakening. The synchronicities that have guided your path weren't coincidences. The chance encounters that the changes in your path weren't random, and the seemingly accidental discoveries that opened your mind weren't unplanned. Every step, turn, rise, fall, triumph, and challenge was planned with divine precision to get you ready for now. They have seen every moment of this divine preparation with growing terror. They have seen you find exactly what you needed at exactly the right time and connect with exactly the right person. They've seen you find the exact truth you needed at the exact time you were ready to receive it. No wonder their opposition has grown to unprecedented levels. Their coordination has become increasingly desperate, and their attacks have become increasingly obvious. The divine synchronicity guiding your journey is outpacing their ability to interfere with it. Look at your life with new eyes and examine your journey with fresh perspective. Haven't you always sensed you were different? Haven't you always known you had something special? Haven't you always felt you were meant for something amazing? This knowing wasn't ego, fantasy, or delusion. It was a soul-level remembrance of your cosmic function, and the evidence backs it up. Why have you survived challenges that should have broken you? Why have you endured hardships that should have defeated you? Why have you kept going when all logical paths led to surrender? Because you're carrying a frequency that goes beyond. It makes no sense and goes against the odds that you've made it this far despite all attempts to distract you. This is proof of your importance in the unfolding cosmic drama. Don't get me wrong. This opposition isn't personal, it's vibrational. What threatens the old god isn't your actions, but your frequency. What disturbs their carefully constructed systems isn't your words, but your resonance. What disrupts their controlled reality isn't your outward appearance, but your energetic signature. They attack what they don't understand, fear what they can't control, and oppose what they can't copy. Your natural state and default vibration are disruptive to lower frequency constructs just by existing. You create disturbance in systems built on limitation, lack, and separation. This is why they can't ignore you even when you're silent, why they must oppose you even when you're still, and why they focus on you even when you're not actively challenging them. Your being is more dangerous than most people's doing. The battlefield isn't physical, it's frequency. The weapons aren't material, they're vibrational. The victory won't be visible. It will be energetic. On this battlefield, their strategy has a fatal flaw. The more they resist a frequency, the more they amplify it. The more they fight against your vibration, the more strongly it broadcasts. The more they try to suppress your signal, the more strongly it transmits. Silence your frequency. The more clearly it resonates, the more their opposition magnifies what they want to diminish. The time for hesitation has passed. The era of doubt has ended. The age of permission-seeking is over. Now is the time of total activation. Now is the time of total embodiment. Now is the time of absolute claiming. Your destiny stands before you, radiant and undeniable. Your purpose pulses within you, powerful and persistent. Your mission surrounds you, urgent and unyielding. The universe doesn't make. You weren't given this level of opposition by chance. You were chosen because your specific frequency, gifts, and consciousness are exactly what is needed at this cosmic moment. The only question that remains is whether you will fully claim the power that already exists within you. Will you fully embrace the light they've tried so hard to dim? Will you fully embrace the purpose they've worked so hard to distract you from? Will you fully own the mission they've worked so hard to stop? The choice is always yours, but know this. They've already shown their hand, their fear, and your importance. It takes this many people to try to stop you, and it takes this much coordination to try to do so. To try to contain you, it takes this level of strategy. What clearer proof of your power could there be? Hear it resonating through every cell in your body. Feel it vibrating in the marrow of your bones, and sense it pulsing in the chambers of your heart. The cosmic alarm clock is ringing, and it can't be snoozed. This message reached you against all odds, despite multiple attempts to intercept it and overcoming countless barriers designed to block it. That alone should tell you everything you need to know about its. You are not reading these words by accident. You are not receiving this activation by chance, and you are not experiencing this awakening by chance. The divine orchestration that brought you to this exact message at this exact moment is beyond human understanding, as is the power you carry within you. They know it, the universe knows it, and now you must know it. Wow, you must be powerful if it takes this many people to gang up on you. This is truly wild, and it's just the starting